Hi guys, this is Austin with Leisure Time in Boise. Today I'm going to show you how to service and clean an 8KX. First thing, some of the simple things you guys need is vacuum, some paper towels, and glass cleaner. Right here we have our glass stove cleaner that's really good for the glass to get off all the etched in stuff. A brush, you want to brush off your dogs with that. And here we have a metal brush to dust off your pilot light. And then to add on some extra glowing embers, we sell these here too at Leisure Time. And a fine grit sandpaper. All right, so let's get into this. All right, first thing you need to do is pop off your screen. Be very gentle, you don't want to mess up your tile. Sometimes they do get stuck. There we go. Okay, I like to lay down a tarp with this too. Today I just have some rugs. Be very careful with those, you don't want to scratch your paint. Okay. So the first step that I like to do is when you open up your unit, I like to come down here and vacuum out any dust and debris that you see. Because a lot of times dust will get back in there and it'll go back towards your fan. So let's make sure to get all that cleared out. So, and I'll use my brush to kind of get things along and suck it into the vacuum. Now, one thing to keep in mind when vacuuming out and messing around under here, just be careful. You have a bunch of electrical components that you don't want to hit or knock loose, as well as your pilot line. It can be bent very easy, so be very careful for that. Next step, we'll take off the glass. And the glass is easy. There's just 4 hooks that will hook onto your glass, but always make sure to hold the top here. That way it doesn't fall off on you. Very careful with your glass. Once again, make sure you got a tarp or a rug that you put on it. So now that we have the glass open, first thing I always do whenever I'm in a unit is I want to take a picture of all the logs in the setup. It's very crucial to get those back in place the right way because you don't want the flames to hit the logs wrong. It will cause sitting. Okay. Once again, that's why a tarp is handy to have around. These logs are pretty fragile, so we're going to be very careful and very gentle when pulling those out. Now these ones aren't so bad, but if you have dusty logs, what I like to do is either take these outside and I'll dust them off with my brush, or I'll have the vacuum next to me and just give them a nice little brush off. Nothing too crazy. You don't want to ruin any of the design you have on here, so just a light, nice, gentle dusting. Okay. Okay, so now that we got all of our logs off and dusted off, we're going to take our vacuum again and we're going to vacuum out all these old embers right here and vacuum up any dirt and particles that we see as well. Try to hit near your pilot because sometimes things get stuck up there. Okay, now we're at the part where you want either a wire brush, something nice and fine. You kind of be very gentle and dust around your pilot area. Sometimes okay, and take a little bit of sandpaper. Be very gentle as well. Okay. Hit it again with the vacuum to clear all that out. have that all cleaned off, we're gonna focus on our refractories right now. You can see that they have a lot of white on them, right? A lot of buildup. So regular glass cleaner is okay to use for that. All right, now that we have our glass refractories all clean, we can get the lock set back in place. And like I said, this is where it's crucial to get everything back into the right line. So I'm gonna pull back out my picture. Or if you have your installation manual, towards the back pages, there will be a diagram on there that'll show you exact places to where your logs go. And if you don't have either one, and if you get to take a picture, there is a QR code and right here on your plate that shows you everything about your model. And you could scan that picture and it'll bring up the diagram for the installation, which will have that log set up on there for you. All right, so here is our number one. So before you get all your logs put in, what you want to do is we have glowing embers, also for sale here at Leisure Time. This is what gives you that nice flame style look for coals down there at the bottom. And for this, to get a nice little handful, and you want to make sure that you're getting enough on, but you don't want to cover your burner holes too much. Otherwise that'll change a lot of your pressure for your gas. So I use a wire brush. It gives it a nice fluff to it, because if you have too much clumps, that's when you'll have the real problems. So brush it all nice and even. It is crucial too to want to make sure what unit you have and if it is like where it is okay to have embers at. Some units they don't have embers allowed through the whole burner area, so be careful of that. And what we'll do as well is we'll put just a little bit of embers into your back logs area, kind of nearby your burners. Spice a few, don't want to overcrowd it. It'll help get that glow better up your logs. All right, now that we have our embers placed, we'll get our last few logs put in. Okay, now with all of our logs put in, we'll bring our glass back over and we'll clean that. And this is the gas stove glass cleaner that we have here at the shop. It is amazing. It's my magic cleaner. It gets rid of all the filament and etched in stuff on the glass. Don't need a whole lot. You know, just take one, or take part of a paper towel, and just give it a nice, good rub all the way through. All right, and then from there, we'll take our regular glass cleaner, just give it a nice little spray. It's also very important not to clean your glass while it's hot. Otherwise, it can cause discoloration of your glass. So always make sure that your glass is nice and cooled down for you. Sometimes it gets hard to see what you missed until you have it up. All right, now we'll get our glass back on, make sure everything is all latched. All latches are tight. Okay. So that we have our glass all cleaned up, we can make sure all of our latches are back on and secure. And from there, we're ready to bring back our screen. Okay. And from here, I usually just take, my glass cleaner as well, and just spray a little glass cleaner onto your paper towels, and just give the screen a little rub. Get all that dust off there. All right, there we have it. There is a full service and clean of the 8KX that we have. Thank you very much.